All right. So we're recording. See how it
Okay.
goes. Because I've also got really bad internet. So we'll see how it goes. That's why it took
Great.
me like 5 minutes to send you a new link.
I see. Okay.
So anyway.
You could have left it as it was because I thought it was all my fault. So,
Yeah, no, not at all. Never your fault. So you guys are Meals of Marin is still in operation right now?
very much so. Thankfully, we have plenty of food available to cook meals with. Everybody in the kitchen and in the office is healthy and practicing best practices.
No.
Sanitation like crazy, washing hands, keeping away from each other. It's a bit of a challenge to work a kitchen with all of those things that need to be done, but it works, and we have been asked more and more and more for food for people who have cancer and are shut in. Um, but we have increased some, and at the same time we have a huge challenge. Our big fundraiser that was scheduled, our Alpenfest,
Mm-hmm.
and we were expecting $30,000 to $35,000 taken, had to be canceled
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, and that leaves us in a very tough spot. More demand, the capability to do it, and not enough money to follow through to take in all the people that really desperately need our service. And huge challenge. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
So what happens? A couple questions. How long can you go without any additional funds?
That's a really good question. Probably right now about a month and a half.
Okay.
If I don't take on additional clients.
Right.
um yeah, and
Wow.
that's just, it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah. And where and two questions with the additional clients is why how are people finding you and why are there more clients now?
Well, let's start with the second part. We have
Okay.
more people who need help because they have life-threatening illnesses, specifically cancer, often in therapy, and their therapies, be it chemo or radiation, impact their immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So they are in the vulnerable population and can't get out without jeopardizing their own health even more through the virus. And so there's more and more people who were able to perhaps go out and buy some food. They can't. They're really
All right.
shut in. The present people that we have always been shut-ins because of the challenges of their health, of the cancer that they're trying to get rid of.
All right.
And that's the why. How do they find us online? We have a website, mealsofmarin.org, and that's how they find us, send us a message, and ask for help. And I call them back, and trying my best to rally support for those that are much, much less fortunate than the rest of us.
Where do people go if not for Meals of Marin?
Um, there are many organizations. There is the food bank, but most likely you would have to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is Meals on Wheels. That's mostly for the elderly. Um, and in terms of food preparation and delivery, there aren't very many actually.
Right.
And that's the important part to know. There aren't very many, and everybody is stretched financially to meet the demand. I mean, the elderly who are shut-ins, they go to Meals on Wheels, and they have been historically. Um, they they had to close their restaurants, so people can't go out and take lunch
Wow.
at a lesser expense. But for Meals of Marin, we have traditionally always been dealing with people who are usually younger than 60 and battle cancer, battle even AIDS still.
Mhm.
It is still an issue, and anything else that is immediately life-threatening. So it's a big challenge.
Yeah. So how, like, I mean, a thing that popped up in my brain is like, restaurants are doing Grubhub and all of that. Now, obviously, that doesn't fit the same budget of, buying from a restaurant and then sending it, you know, via Grubhub to someone because there's a lot of expenses in that. And tell me about your volunteers that are delivering the meals.
Um, they are delivered through drivers who are actually employees of the organization that cooks the food for Meals
Oh,
of Marin.
okay.
So all of that is outsourced, and we are, as Meals of Marin, the arm, so to speak, that does the client service,
Hmm.
the intake, the taking care of clients now via phone. Sometimes it was with visits, now we do it via phone. And the fundraising, of course, making sure that the money is there for it. Because Meals of Marin service is free to those who qualify. And in order to qualify, to have a life-threatening illness, and B, have that verified by your doctor with a letter. Um, and the people who are serving, who are delivering, they have protective gear, they have
Hmm.
their gloves, they have sanitation wipes, they have the spray, the alcohol spray, and they follow protocol. They only drop off the meal right at the doorstep, ring the doorbell, and so then people can get to the door and get their meals after the driver has left.
And what's the range? How far are these drivers going? Where are the majority of the clients, and how far do they go?
Um, well, officially it is Marin County,
Hmm.
San Francisco city and county, all the way down to Santa Clara County. And it's quite a wide range. And you can imagine we are concentrating at this moment mostly on Marin, but we do have client elsewhere too, all the way over to Alameda. And, they just need the food. If
Yeah.
we were not to feed them, they would not have any recourse. I just had a phone call come in um, from the wife of a potential client who has come down with cancer, who is in treatment. Um, Due to the illness, they have lost all of their income because he was the breadwinner. He can't work.
Yeah.
He's in constant treatments, chemo and radiation to get rid of the cancer. And due to the hardship of not having any income, they also didn't have a huge backlog of money sitting somewhere as
Right.
savings. They have lost their home. They don't have a home anymore. So a good friend of theirs put them up in a little hotel for the time being. And when I see that, and then they're asking, can you please feed us? How on earth could I say no?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the next question is, how am I going to accomplish all of that with the money that we expected, not
Right.
coming in because of having to cancel our event? It's tough. It's really, really, really tough, and we're not the only ones.
Oh, yeah. So how, I mean, obviously, how can people help? I mean, money for sure is an obvious one. Is there any other ways, like if people can't give money because they've lost their jobs or money is tight, is there any other ways people can help?
At this moment, no, because we're really all set up, and
Yeah.
without money, you can't cook. The food is being ordered in from local farmers, and they need the support too of what Meals of Marin is doing, because the
Right.
meals have to be cooked with veggies and all the other things that go into a healthy meal, meat and salads and stuff.
Yeah.
So that is all set, and in this case, it is just simply even a small, really small donation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of little makes a lot too. Even a very small donation would be extremely helpful, and to spread the word. Because if a lot of people pitch in with just a little bit, and it's relatively easy to do, you can go just simply to our website, mealsofmarin.org, and go to donate,
Yeah.
and you can do that with your credit card or your PayPal account, and it literally helps immediately. And
Yeah.
the more that happens, the more people we can help. And it really takes all of us
Yeah.
together to get through all of the crises that we see now,
Yeah.
um, caused by the coronavirus, but also affecting many, many, many other aspects of life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the whole drop, as an individual drop, we're just a raindrop, but all together we're an ocean,
That's
right?
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right.
So do you, well, I mean, how far does $20 go, or $1,000, or like, do you have the breakdowns of, you know, $1,000 feeds 10 people for a month or a day?
Well, if you go the simple way, 10 um, $20 feeds a person for 2 days.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. And that's not just, a small meal. I remember seeing
That's
the
a
meals. Those are some delicious meals, and they look great, and they're professionally prepared. I mean, I mean, it's a treat to get that quality of a meal.
it is a treat, and they're plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes people don't have a huge big appetite when they're in treatment, and
Right.
so one meal often serves them for 2 days,
Right.
two dinners, and I that's pretty amazing. So we could also then go to um, serving a medium-sized meal or a large-sized
Right.
meal of the same kind, to stretch it. And with that, the price drops a little bit, not significantly, but we're trying to work it in many different ways to get the maximum,
Yeah.
in terms of awesome food, healthy, fresh, nothing out of cans, to get the best food available to people to help them in their process of hopefully
Yeah.
healing. And if it's not healing, if it is just to know that I'm not going to die of hunger, there are people out there who deeply care,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not just trod in. There is a lot of love going around, and it's directed towards me. That for a client is also healing to the soul and to their emotions,
Yeah.
and to just know that they're part of a large community that cares
Yeah.
deeply.
Well, especially in these times where we are shut in even more than normal, and
Yes.
there's zero or very little interaction with other than people in your home. If you have people in your home, to know that someone
Yeah.
is out there
Yeah.
caring is a
Thank goodness for social media now,
yeah,
something that we're doing at this moment,
yeah,
uh, via Zoom.
yeah,
Um, I think it's vital that we stay in contact with each other.
yeah,
Yesterday, I made 20 phone calls, and what I'm doing is just going through my notebook and call alphabetically every person whom I know and have been in contact with ever.
yeah.
You might get a phone call, and just checking in with people. But Trevor is like
I know, I'm
way
way down there. You'll get to me in a few weeks to a month, right?
and I'm just trying to tell people I
Yeah,
care.
yeah,
I'm here. I don't want anything. I just want you to know that I care. And
right,
anytime you want to talk to me, call me back, and I'd love to talk. I mean, that's a good way to spend your time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Besides working from home,
right.
and also tending to my garden, which has been neglected a bit with the lots of things to do. And now, even with all that, I get to go out and tend to my garden, which is a
Yeah,
blessing, guys.
yeah. Well, is there anything else that we can think of that we want to say or try and figure out? Because this is all new territory, right?
Yeah. the most important thing is to be smart and to not go out and think you're invincible, no
Yeah.
matter what age,
Yeah.
whether or not you're in an age bracket that is more challenged.
Yeah.
Anybody needs to heed, and
Oh yeah.
that way we can break it quicker. And that goes to all the young people.
Yeah.
You're not invincible. Unfortunately, I wish you were, but you're not. And even if you don't get it, if you are a carrier and you bring it home to your family,
Yeah.
you don't want to be responsible for
Yeah.
any member of your family getting ill.
Yeah.
Um, be
Well,
smart. Be smart and be caring, and this will pass. Loneliness per se isn't going to kill us, but the virus certainly can.
right. I remember when this first started going out, and people were canceling events, and we lost a lot of our business like right away. I mean, actually, we lost all of our business over the course of 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
I'm like, I got to keep going to these mixers and keep going to things, and we developed the elbow bump video, and we were trying to do the don't touch, but my wife was very smart as always and says, look, it's not about you getting sick, because I thought I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't get sick anyway. And she's like, it's about all the people that you come in contact with. It's about your family here at home, your grandparents, your parents, my parents. It's like, and I was like, oh, damn,
right.
yeah, always, right? So it's you just never know if you're
Yeah,
carrying or
imagine
not.
if you have been hanging out with your friends and
Right,
satisfying that need for community
right,
in person, and you bring that home and your little sister gets ill.
right.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Or even worse, that is not something that you want to do, and you
yeah,
want to be smart and know that this is very dangerous. It's not made up.
yeah,
People die from it, and you want to be part of those people that help stop it. We can
yeah,
break it, we can stop it, but we all have to be in this together. And yes, it is a lonely thing, but
yeah.
there's so much great stuff that you can do. I downloaded, when I get really desperate, a doodle thing from a magazine. Look at this. And I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
color it. I'm just gonna go ahead and clear my mind and color it. And when
yeah,
all else fails, I start breathing and going in and thinking of all the people that hopefully will make it, and all of those who aren't going to make it. Send them love,
yeah.
and just we are literally all in this together. Look, Trevor, what this does really, it shows us
Mm-hmm.
how interconnected we truly are.
Right,
There isn't somebody somewhere far away in Africa or in
right,
Asia.
right.
No, we are desperately and definitely connected for the better and for the
Yeah,
worse. Why don't we turn that and use the opportunity and make it for the better?
yeah.
And when you look what we have done to our earth, how in Venice now the canals are clean,
I know. Well, they're just
swans are
settled,
swimming.
right?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
China, eyes are clearing because
yeah,
we don't pollute because we're shut in.
yeah,
Just think about it. Think about the effect we have when we're well. Why
yeah,
don't we be careful and mindful when we are well again and we can be not shut in
yeah,
and gets together for the better of all of that is so interconnected.
yeah,
I see that as a blessing in disguise teaching us, and I'm so sad for all the suffering that's going on and for the
yeah.
life that's being lost. And Trevor, you stay safe, okay? Promise.
Will do. I'm staying on our ranch at home, and I've been chopping wood for 3 days and taking care of tree work. And so, and
Yeah.
just I built my office in our hay barn. Where is it? How do I undo the video? So there's our hay barn.
Nice.
So I'm not, I've got just enough internet to uh to do these Zoom calls and stay in touch. So
Yeah.
we've gone
And
to
that's
town, I
all
think.
we need, really, is stay in touch, find good ways to do that,
Yeah,
and support each other. I think the more I can do, and I can do it thankfully from home, the more I can do,
yeah,
I'm so willing and so ready to do it.
yeah,
So sending funds our way will be the way to help people eat and not die of hunger. That would just not be
Yeah.
okay on top of everything else.
Yeah, and it's definitely something to think about. It's again like I don't have any income right now, but to send $20 your way to feed 2 meals,
Yes,
seems more than worth it. It's like it's not gonna make that much of a difference to me to lose $20 in this tight time, but it'll make a world of difference to that person getting fed 2 meals.
exactly.
Um,
Exactly right.
yeah,
And we can do it, we
yeah,
can do it. And we're working hard to make sure that all of that is in our power gets done.
yeah,
And if there's any thoughts, ideas, support,
yeah.
whatever it is, we're open.
Yeah, out of curiosity, I mean, a lot of restaurants are still like doing takeout, but I mean, I can only assume a lot of them have had to shut down or are going through vastly less amounts of food. Is there any way to outsource, or not outsource, but um, collect from other restaurants food to cut costs even further right now, like that they can't use? Or I mean, I know a lot of restaurants don't freeze their food, so
Restaurants give it out directly, and that's a good way to do it to people who are able to come and pick it up.
yeah,
You know, what we're dealing with is different. We also need to make sure that our chain of supply keeps clean,
yeah,
that the food or the packaging or anything else does not get exposed to any
right,
additional um, possibilities of the virus attaching itself. I mean, we just learned that it attaches itself to paper and to cardboard and sits there for a while.
hmm,
We thought it was going to be 2, 3 hours. No, it's longer
yeah,
than 2 or 3 hours. So everything has to be set aside and sort of quarantined to make sure that it is safe for those who have a very impaired immune system.
yeah,
So no, anything additional from outside we cannot redistribute.
right,
But
okay,
the community that needs food and is healthy enough to come and go pick it up themselves for themselves, that's perfect.
yeah,
We can't compromise the chain that we have built to be as safe as possible.
right,
Um, you got to be really, really mindful
yeah.
when you look at all the opportunities and see what you cannot do. And
Can you say
keeping it
that
safe,
part
that's
again? My internet completely crashed. That we have to look at the opportunities.
we have to look at the opportunities and make sure that we choose wisely and don't invite any possible
Yeah,
virus in by just jumping on an opportunity. Our chain right now, from the farmer to the kitchen to the preparation to
yeah,
the delivery, is as scrubbed clean as anyhow possible.
right,
So we're not wanting to go ahead and make things perhaps
yeah.
worse for the
Makes
clients that
sense.
need the food.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Carola, for all that you do and all the people that you work with do. And again, I like the idea of $20 goes a long way. Obviously, more goes further, but like you said, a drop of $20 in the ocean feeds a lot of people.
Yes, look, Trevor, I have done this for 27 years
Yeah,
plus. I started this because of the AIDS crisis.
yeah,
We have gone through crises here and there, but there has been nothing like that where our meals are desperately needed.
yeah,
We have never faced it as a community, in the
yeah,
world, anything like that. So, you know, getting together and making sure that we help those that are less able
yeah,
than we are at this moment, that is a noble thing to do. And I'm very honored and very humbled also by having the opportunity to pitch in.
yeah.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you also
Well, thank
to
you.
help out and, spread the word.
Yep.
Uh, together, together we can.
Yeah,
And we will get through this.
definitely. All right, Carola. Well, thank you. Stay
Thank you.
well. Say hi to
You
Linda for me.
will do. You stay well.
Will do.
Hugs to you and your family. And we're not invincible, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, maybe a little.
Yeah, a little.
All right, Carola. Well, I will probably see you tomorrow morning on our BNI meeting.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So, all right.
Okay.
Well, have a
Thanks,
good.
Trevor.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
ton. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.